Now, back to AB Sports Conversation with Anthony Carlo and Benzino the Hero.
Back at AB Conversation, I beat Anthony to it. Haha. AB Conversation, we out here. Anthony Carlos, the A, Benzino the Heroes, the B, WICR Studio, Low Level of Penta, adjacent to the TV room.
There we go.
We out here.
You know, if you ever did play-by-play for like the Yankees or I don't know any team, you'd be one of those guys like Michael Kay used to do when he'd be like Yankees wearing pinstripe uniforms with the interlocking NY on the left patch over the heart. They're wearing navy blue hats right now. Ben's very descriptive. Ben gives a lot of detail, so he details every time where we are. Lower level of La Penta across from the...
Yeah, we should call a basketball game together.
Oh, man. Ben would have fun doing that. Oh, boy. Now he's going to get me sick over here.
Bless you. Thank you. All right.
God bless.
Thank you. And NFL news. Just in case you weren't aware, the New York Jets acquired Percy Harvin via the Seattle Seahawks, coming as a surprise to the whole entire NFL. Now, behind Percy Harvin is some baggage. Seattle players Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin and Percy Harvin said, "Yo, we fought the night before the Super Bowl." That's not good. It's Super Bowl. Everybody should be on the same page, right? Meanwhile, there's a fight, and Percy Harvin is now a Jet, and Marshawn Lynch, Seattle's running back, not pleased at all. Tweeted, "Damn, they took my expletive." All right, we're gonna keep it at that. But now the Jets have another weapon, which they didn't have before. I didn't consider Eric Decker a weapon, and the Jets did sign Jeremy Curley to a new deal, 4-year deal.
4 years. So, well, looking at this deal, Benzi, you know, everything you said is spot on. Hit the nail on the head. Percy Harvin comes over. You look at him surface level, and you look at a player who can help this football club. You look at a player who has the tools, if healthy, and if on the field. In a perfect world, if we look at Percy Harvin as straight away an NFL football player and straight away look at his skills, we look at a player, a dynamic playmaker who can help this New York Jets reeling football club, who is at 1-6 and desperately needs help.
Desperately.
However, we don't live in a perfect world.
No.
And we can't just look at people for their face value, unfortunately. We have to look in depth more at the baggage, as Benzino coined it, that Percy Harvin brings over. He brings over a history of not getting along well with teammates. I mean, you cited a perfect example to explain that, fighting with his teammates the night before the Super Bowl. He brings over a past of getting injured and not always being on the field. I mean, he was really only a factor to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl last year.
Yes.
That was about it. Even when he came back for the playoff game against the Saints, he got hurt in that game.
Yes.
So Percy Harvin is somebody who does bring a catch with him. So you know when something sounds too good to be true and there's a catch?
And he's a wide receiver?
Yeah, there's a catch. Now the question is, Benzino, is he going to help the team? And will he be able to give the Jets that face value that he portrays and not have them get delved into all the other bullcrap that comes along with the Percy Harvin package?
At a team that is 1-6, there had to be something to be done. Because it wasn't done in the offseason. When you have $20 million left in cap over an offseason, telling Rex Ryan, yo, we got some new weapons, and you're 1-6, you can't. That doesn't work. So you try to salvage the season, and what that salvation is acquiring Percy Harvin. Now, will Percy Harvin be a factor? Most definitely. He is when he's not injured, when he's productive, top 5 receiver in the league, regardless. Will he be playing? Will he be on the outside? I don't know, because he's a small guy. I see him being more used in the slot as a slot receiver. All right. So, we talking about Percy Harvin and how good he'll do?
Well, we're speaking about Percy Harvin. We're speaking about will he help the Jets? Simple as that.
Yeah.
So Benzino's banking on Percy Harvin as if he was a gambling chip that was about to win Benzino $1 million. That's the way you just came off to me. 100% positive Percy Harvin will be a essential part of this Jets team.
I put $1 million on him? Oh, man.
Well, the way your yes most definitely gave me the ability to say, wow, Benzino, if he was given $1 million and had a bet on whether or not Percy Harvin was going to help the Jets, he would bet on him helping him.
In this perfect world. Them. If we were in that perfect world.
Well, listen to me. In a perfect world, I'd have $1 million.
Yeah. But we're not in that perfect world, and the Jets season is certainly not in a perfect world.
Well, here's the thing. Jets fans could say, too little, too late. You know, John Idzik, as you said, something needed to be done. This team has not been able to get it done up until this point. They're struggling mightily, even when they play a good game like they did against the Patriots last Thursday.
Very good game.
Geno Smith, led that team to what looked to be a possible victory. The team played well together. The only play I didn't like in that game was that play choice calling on the 2-point conversion to try and tie that game up. Because let's face it, the game wasn't lost on the field goal. They weren't making that field goal. The game was lost on that play calling on the 2-point conversion when they had the opportunity to make it 27 up instead of 27-25.
The way Geno orchestrated that coming down the field into that somewhat field goal range was exquisite.
Well, yeah, that's all he takes. Geno Smith did a phenomenal job. Even when he got banged around and looked like he might have been out for a few plays, he was rushing his butt right back onto the field. He wanted that team. He wanted his team to get that win. And that's all you can expect from a young quarterback who's been in a tough position this year, who's been receiving a lot of criticism from fans, who's been not on the same page as his team, not able to do what the Jets have expected from this franchise quarterback.
Not in the same time zone.
I motion fake quotes. But Percy Harvin may be that edge that would get the Jets that win over the Patriots last week. He may be that extra touchdown that would get the Jets that win. I personally believe, I agree with you, Ben. I agree that Percy Harvin is not going to come over here. He can't be dumb enough to come over here and start trouble.
He said he liked Rex off the bat.
Right. They're off to a good start. He can't be dumb. Now, I can't tell you what's going to happen as we move forward. After week 10, I can't tell you, or week 12, I can't tell you maybe he starts getting into grapplings with teammates. But as of now, in the next few weeks coming up, I think he'll be able to help this team because he can't be dumb enough to come over here and start trouble with teammates right off the bat. It's not going to happen.
He's the new guy. He's coming into a locker room. Even though he got that Super Bowl ring, we know what he can do.
Right.
In his playing ability. He got a touchdown for the first second half.
Right.
So that game, he's a playmaker.
What it's going to be dependent upon is if Geno Smith can get him the ball. That's about it. Percy Harvin is going to be put in this offense as somebody who's going to receive a large amount of passes from Geno Smith.
Yes.
As many of passes Geno Smith throws, I will go out and say that 70% of those passes are going to be to Percy Harvin.
I don't think it's all on Geno. Yes, Geno is the quarterback. Geno is the man that controls the ball, but the offensive coordinator, how is he going to incorporate Percy Harvin into the system? That's another issue.
Well, Marty Mornhinweg is going to hopefully use Percy Harvin like he was used over in Seattle. They used him in motion a lot. They gave him handoffs. He was part of the running game. He was part of the receiving game. I mean, I remember in that game, in that postseason last year in the Super Bowl, and especially against the Saints. I believe it was against the Saints. When he had, they had him. They were giving him handoffs in the backfield. He was starting out in the slot as a receiver. He was coming around for a sweep. Percy Harvin. I think Marty Mornhinweg knows how to use Percy Harvin in this offense. To me, it's can Geno Smith now with a better target to throw to, can he make the throws to get Percy Harvin the football and let Percy Harvin do what he needs to do?
Hopefully that'll happen.
I think it's a compilation of all of them. I think Geno needs to be spot on. He needs to get him the ball. I think that obviously Marty Mornhinweg needs to incorporate Percy Harvin into this offense. And if those things happen, I think that the Jets will be a better offense with him. There's no question about that if those things happen.
Hopefully they will happen because Jets at 1-6, that's not good.
No, and neither is anything good in New York right now because the Giants lost another contest against the best team in the NFL.
The best team in the NFL. That was the statement Anthony made. The best team in the NFL. And that team that he's talking about is the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. Now, is Rob a Dallas Cowboys fan?
No, no, his Saints.
He's waving at me from the control room like
Saints,
I thought he was giving me like a little. Oh, is he giving me a whoop-de-doo sign?
Yeah, like a
reel?
like, I don't know.
He's giving me a fishing reel sign.
No, with the torso.
A yasso?
A yassle. No. A tassel. Lasso.
Okay, lasso. Oh, I get it from Dallas. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry, our producer sometimes, he gives us the little symbols. I don't know what they mean.
I don't know. That wasn't a nugget, Rob.
Ben, the way you say it was a nugget. The way you talked about a nugget, you took that word and I know you're making fun of me. It's okay. The golden chicken nugget from Rob. That's all right. It's all dope in here. That's okay. It's all dope.
How about the Cowboys?
Real copacetic. All right, listen. The way you made me sound right there is that I put a lot of baggage on the Cowboys by calling them the best team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether or not, when this NFL season is done, whether the Cowboys will be, without doubt, the best team in the NFL. But what I do know right now is that they have the best record. Therefore, that makes them the best team.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, do me a favor. Dissect for me why the Giants lost this game the second week in a row to a division rival.
Wow. Okay. One reason is because the loss of Victor Cruz. Right? We can say that.
We could say that played into it.
We can say that.
Absolutely.
We can also say the performance of Eli Manning. It's not up to par.
We could say that. But more importantly for me, it was the performance of Andre Williams in the running game, which was not up to par, which can't be completely blamed on him. I think you have to partially blame the offensive line again. That
time been struggling.
Well, Ben, when you have two players opposing each other on both sides of the football field, one of them is a possible MVP in DeMarco Murray, breaking Jim Brown's record, rushing for 7 straight NFL 100-plus rushing games out of the gate. And you have on the other end Andre Williams, who, don't get me wrong, is a very dynamic kid and bulldozes defenders and can come up with big rushing games and comes up with yards after contact, drops that shoulder, crucial yardage. Don't get me wrong, I love Andre Williams. But when you have him opposing DeMarco Murray and DeMarco Murray blows the Giants' running game away,
yes,
there's an obvious fact right there of why the Giants couldn't win this game.
Couldn't run the ball.
Now, number two, and I argued with Armand Matteo about this. Armand had it set in his head that it was the running game, that the Giants couldn't stop DeMarco Murray, and that was the main reason why they lost this game. He also made a point that the Giants have not incorporated Eli Manning into the system as that number one playmaker in a while now, and that's why they're losing. They're taking too much emphasis away from Eli, trying to put it on other parts of their game. My point is that Tony Romo's uniform was too clean enough by the time the game was over. Tony Romo was not put on his butt enough. 2 sacks is okay, but it's not good enough. And the Giants, I know JPP had some pressure on him. The Giants, in order to win this game, had to do one thing: destroy Dallas from the inside out. How do you do that? You put pressure on Tony Romo. Romo's uncomfortable, can't get his passes off. Des Bryant doesn't have 9 catches for 150 yards plus receiving. He now starts crying that he's not getting the ball enough. They start arguing. The Dallas Empire starts to crumble from within, and the Giants win the game.
Well, Anthony, not the Giants, excuse me. The Cowboys' offensive line has been superior.
It has been.
So it is the Giants' job, well, the defensive line's job to attack the quarterback. But when you're going up against with that offensive line, though, it's a good offensive line. It's hard to say in that situation when you're going up against one of the best offensive line in the NFL.
You know what? To me, defense wins out. And I feel like if the Giants' defensive rush was good enough on Tony Romo, then I feel like he would have been made uncomfortable enough to change the game. And the way Tony Romo walks around right now is honestly, and it's not against him because he deserves to, but he walks around like he's the best quarterback in the NFL. That's how he walks around. Romo shouldn't be leaving the field walking around like that at the end of this game. I don't care if the Cowboys wound up winning the game. This is what needs to happen. Tony Romo can't walk off the field walking around like he's the best quarterback in the NFL. He has to be sweating bullets that he barely scratched out a win against the Giants. Almost, enough to drain him of energy from a week if he wants to earn that win against the Giants. And he wasn't like that. He walked away unscathed.
Yeah, that was the word. If you weren't going to say that word, I was going to say it. But
Yeah.
we were both thinking on the same page because what Anthony's saying is Tony Romo, he only fell 2 times.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right. Then at the end of the game, I'm feeling good,
Yeah.
You want Tony Romo walking like this.
If the Cowboys want to win this game, if I'm giving them a win, if I'm the Giants, I'm damn sure making sure that sure as hell that Tony Romo can't walk off the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing if I'm the Giants. If they're winning the game, fine. Take the game. You win the game. But you're only winning it by a field goal. And you're only winning it with your quarterback hobbling off the field, sweating bullets that he almost lost the game. The Giants didn't do that. The Giants didn't scare the Cowboys.
They did not.
They didn't scare the Eagles.
Nope.
They didn't scare the Cowboys.
Nope.
They're not scaring anybody in this division.
Nope. Well, yeah. Wait. They're not scaring. Correct. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be scary for the Giants going down
The rest of the season.
Second half of the season with 2 teams like Philadelphia and Dallas in this division who look superb. You spoke about Dallas' offensive line. How about Dallas' defense? How about the expectations there? Losing DeMarcus Ware, you figure they'd be set back? No, they've been better than ever.
And they don't have Michael Sam. He's been cut.
Yeah, he's
Practicing
been
in
cut.
practice squad. Just we gotta say that.
Right. But, I mean, that's the story, man. That is the story for the Giants right now.
You want to hear another story in the NFL?
And hopefully Schwartz can bolster that line coming back and Jennings can help the run game. But go ahead.
All right. P Money.
I knew you were going to say P Money.
P Money.
P Money Manning.
No surprise here. Peyton Manning has eclipsed Brett Favre for the most touchdowns in NFL history at 509 plus. Congratulations to Peyton Manning. And which was cool about this, he was dissecting the 49ers defense like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, 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 touchdown record, all right. But celebrating this touchdown celebration, it was him and his other receivers. They caught the ball, touchdown, yeah, Peyton Manning, and they played hot potato with him. But the thing is, I read a report that was planned. I'm like, bruh,
I know, you don't,
come on, that was wavy. You shouldn't have said that. It was a very cool thing.
Yeah. You don't plan stuff like that, first of all.
What?
I think
A celebration?
Well, I think that just happens. Well, they said we're going to keep it away from him, right?
Yeah.
When he does it.
Wait, Manning? The Manning said
Well,
that?
was Manning in on that?
Yeah, I think Manning was in on it.
Oh, you see, if that was the case, then no, that's ridiculous. Why would you let Manning know?
Yeah.
He's got now 510 now touchdown passes.
Continuing to grow on because the season's not over yet, and his career is definitely not over yet.
Right, and Peyton Manning definitely has to be, definitely have to mention him. You know, he threw for 318 yards in this game, 4 TDs. He was 22 for 26.
And he sat out the fourth quarter because it was a blowout.
22 for 26. What a ratio of completed passes to not completed passes.
4 incompletions.
Boy, I mean that is some ratio. And the Broncos are, I mean, they're sitting in a good position right now. The Broncos are 5-1 in the AFC West. The Chargers trail them 5-2. The Chiefs are 3-3.
Go Chargers.
The Raiders, of course, are 0-6. But hey, the Broncos, Peyton Manning, one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks. I mean, look who he beat. You know, he beat Brett Favre. He's taken down, some of the game's best players ever.
Yes.
And, the Broncos are going to have a good shot to go back to the Super Bowl this year, I think.
Most definitely, Anthony. In this game, DeMarcus Ware, DeMarcus Ware, one of the best pass rushers in the game. So when you're a pass rusher, you have different type of moves: the swim and the spin move, right? DeMarcus Ware went up against an offensive lineman. He faked spun off him, so he didn't spin all the way. He went, then came back, had a clear path to Colin Kaepernick, and sacked him.
So he faked the spin move.
Yeah, but thing is, the offensive lineman was like,
he was twirling around.
Yeah.
He had him twirling in circles. The 49ers, to me, are twirling in circles. The 49ers are, they got to get their stuff together at this point because
they're inconsistent.
Yeah, they're real inconsistent. But I felt more bad than good this year from this team. I believe they stand at
4-3.
4-3 on the season. Let's take a look and let's double check that. Yeah, 4-3. But they're behind the Cardinals team that is 5-1 in the NFC West, and not only has the great defense, but Carson Palmer and that Cardinals team has been getting it done offensively as well.
If we're gonna switch to this division, the third place team is the defending Super Bowl champs at 3-3.
Yeah. Well, that's even, here's a couple of things that nobody saw coming. The 49ers, they're at 4-3. They still got their head above water. They can make changes.
Yes.
The Seahawks, who according to Russell Wilson are still a good football team, are not a good football team now according to their record because they're 3-3, and a 500 team I wouldn't say is a good team. I'd say they're an average team.
That's average.
They lost Percy Harvin, which may turn out to be for the better of them if this guy was really holding them back clubhouse-wise.
Yes.
But in terms of skill-wise, their receiving core they've received a big loss. Percy Harvin was their number one receiver. And without Golden Tate this year, he's a Lion now.
He's a Lion.
Doug Baldwin moves into that number one slot.
He's not a number one.
He's not, but he's been running the mouth like he should be a number one because he feels like this team needs to start correcting. He's getting nervous. He's really getting nervous about the way this team is. You can't fault him for trying to be a leader and speak out, but he's also going to have to now match his actions on the field, because he's actually now been by default. He's been actually put in a spot where he's going to be expected to do as much as he says.
Yes. The Rams did make the Cardinals 3-3 off a 28-26 victory. All right, nothing. But in this
game about the Seahawks.
The Seahawks. What did I say?
The Cardinals.
I did? I apologize. Rams defeated the Seahawks to make the Seahawks 3-3 in this game. Trickery.
It is Halloween soon.
Trickery.
And they were enjoying the trick more than the treat, but they were getting the treats as well.
The Rams pulled off a punt, right?
They did.
A punt. They did punt the ball, but they didn't punt the ball to a certain player. The Seahawks, when the punt was punted, the Seahawks all ran to Tavon Austin on the right side of the field. But the ball...
the left side.
Oh, yeah. Left side. But the ball went to the right side, and nobody was there. So the guy ran for a touchdown.
Yeah. So what happened was the Rams basically punked out the Seahawks in this game. And what they did was they used Deeks because that particular player, Tavon Austin, faked out that he was about to receive the ball.
Yes.
And even in the other play that they had, where the punter faked
the punt.
Hecker faked the punt and then threw. That was a big first down.
18 yards on that play, yep.
The Rams scratched out a win by 2 points, 28-26, using strategically placed trick plays.
Well, that's why, they are the Super Bowl champs, so you're going to get the best out of them. And sometimes a little trickery.
Yeah, and if anything, the Seahawks should not be falling asleep due to trick plays
No.
at this point. I understand it's stuff you don't normally see in the NFL, but the Rams straight out outsmarted you, and you're a team that's trying to minimize mistakes in order to not lose your Super Bowl crown. And you're getting punked out on more than one play.
The quarterback,
A big divisional loss to a 2-4 team.
the quarterback of this St. Louis Rams is Austin Davis. The way he got the
Third stringer.
third stringer, Sam Bradford got injured. Next guy gets injured as well. Then here comes Austin Davis. Now, Brett Favre recently said he has a Brady Kurt Warner-esque in his game. Like, yo, he only played like 3 games now, 4 games. You can't be saying stuff like that.
Who said that now?
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre said Austin Davis has a Brady
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. I mean, I like to make comparisons, but I like to make them when they actually mean something, and that we can actually back them up. I mean, listen, Austin Davis did a great job leading that team to beat the defending Super Bowl champs, but I mean, that's some pretty big britches for him to pick up.
What game would you like to talk about, Anthony?
Yeah, elsewhere in the NFL, well, we did have a Monday night game where Big Ben was able to bring the Steelers past the Texans in a game where the Texans had an early lead, and they use some strategic choice of play calling to be able to overcome the Texans, and one of them involved Antonio Brown and the pitch, and then Brown acting as quarterback and nailing the touchdown pass. So I personally enjoy when coaches dig down into the playbook to come up with these plays that a lot of times you only see in high school level schoolyard plays. I personally enjoy that because you don't see enough. You see a lot of straightforward plays come NFL time, because what happens is what happens is a lot of these trick plays or these plays that involve strategy, they take time, and unless you have the defense fooled, the defense will smother you. NFL level, they will smother the play before it even starts.
Yes.
So, but what I like to see is teams actually tricking the other team that they don't expect it at all, and they have enough time to get the play off, and then the other team looks like a bunch of idiots.
What I like more about this Antonio Brown touchdown, that he's on my fantasy team. So
of course,
I get the passing touchdown, plus he also caught a touchdown in this game, and the Steelers defense pulled off some turnovers. Anthony alluded to the fact that the Houston Texans had a lead. In 3 minutes, the Steelers scored 24 points, and that game was turned around.
Yeah. The Texans definitely could have been a little more or less mistake prone, but they made some mistakes, and Ryan Fitzpatrick had a couple interceptions in this game, and the Steelers come away with a big win.
Yes.
I think it's a big win because it puts them at 4-3 in the division. Correct? I believe they're 4-3. They were 3-3. Believe they were 3-3 coming into this game.
The Bengals are reeling, as Anthony likes to use the word reeling. So
yeah, the Colts knocked them out.
Dismantled them. 27-0.
Dismantled them.
I believe 27-0.
Yeah, I believe that was a 27-0 game.
Well, that's the fact that A.J. Green's out, so Andy Dalton's been having trouble to find offense. Other NFL news: the Dolphins and the Bears. Dolphins won 27-14, and Brandon Marshall's calling out his quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon Marshall is a beast. I like Brandon Marshall as a wide receiver. This team consists of Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffrey, and Matt Forte, the running back. And Brandon Marshall knows Jay Cutler for some time, going back to the playing days with the Broncos. Brandon Marshall wants the ball. He's a playmaker. Jay Cutler, your job is to give the ball to Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I mean and just to mention, the Steelers are 4-3 in that division, so they're behind the Ravens only in first. But the Bears have been a big topic of discussion because basically this has been a team that has had the potential to be a winner in this division. But after last year losing in the wild card game to the Packers and not making the playoffs, and between the start to this year, where the Bears, they're 3-4, correct? 3-4 on the year. What happens is people start doubting the credibility of a team. And what's happening is the Bears are no longer going to be a credible threat in this division if, in the NFC North, if they continue to play the way they're playing, because they have two teams ahead of them in the Lions and the Packers that both stand at 5-2. The Lions are not going away. Their defense has been great this year. Their offense, we know what they can do with Reggie Bush, Matt Stafford, Megatron when he returns.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell's on the Steelers.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Lions.
Drake Bell. The backup running back. Well, not backup running back. He starts now.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell's on the...
Yeah, Drake Bell.
But we know what this team can do offensively, and they've been great defensively. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers has been leading this team, with Jordy Nelson and Eddie Lacy and Randall Cobb, and, to another successful year so far. The Bears are going to get lost. It's another state of the Giants. I can draw a similarity right now between the Bears and the Giants. Because the Bears and the Giants both sit in third place with a 3-4 record. They both sit with two teams ahead of them that will run away with this division.
Yes.
The Packers and the Lions, and the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly.
So in that respect, the Giants and the Bears are similar because they both have potential to make things happen, but they're not putting it together. And you think one of the reasons is because Jay Cutler won't give Brandon Marshall the football.
Or just give him an opportunity to make a play.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry, Ben, but if you're Brandon Marshall, please do not tell the media that. Please do not come out and start a whole clubhouse disruption, which is going to put this team in a worse position than they're in now. Talk to your quarterback one-on-one, man-to-man. Tell him, listen to me, Jay. I think I can help this team win more if you give me the football more. Don't make this into a drama situation that's only going to wind up into a media frenzy where they're going to start pitting players against each other. I'm sorry, Brandon Marshall. Wrong move. Wrong move.
Sorry to hear that, Anthony.
It may be
Marshall. That's my guy.
It may be a wrong move for Brandon Marshall not to be getting the football. I'm not arguing that. What the wrong move is letting the public know that not only you're losing as a team, but you're losing the team.
The locker room.
You're losing the locker room. You never want to let teams know you're losing the locker room because they will tear you to bits on the football field.
Anthony, one last thing for football. Redskins defeated the Titans in a close 19-17 matchup. In this game, Kirk Cousins gets injured. Colt McCoy is entered into the game. First play he gets all season, he throws the ball to Pierre Garçon, and it's a touchdown. So now the question is, Kirk Cousins out. If Robert Griffin III is healthy, would he start? But if he's not healthy, Colt McCoy, it's your team to run.
Yeah, I mean, RG3, people are going to hope that he comes back, but it's been unfortunate for him because I know he put a lot of hard work into this offseason to come back as vintage rookie RG3 instead of, last year's RG3.
You want to see vintage AB conversation next week?
Yeah, I do want to see vintage AB conversation next
We'll
week.
be having our NBA preview on our WICR Radiothon next weekend. We're going on from 9 a.m. in the morning to 12 midnight. Not AB Conversation, WICR as a whole. AB Conversation will be having a show during the 8 to 9 slot or 7 to 8 slot. We're not exactly sure about that. But we'll be talking about the NBA season, New York Knicks basketball. You know me.
We'll be talking about Benzino's passion on this face of this earth. And if you do want to see vintage Benzino, you better hang around for the rest of this AB conversation because he's coming up with a little surprise topic about a show Benzino the Hero was able to watch last night, and that was ESPN's 30 for 30, The Garden of Eden. We'll be right back here on AB Conversation.
Oh, okay. Oh, what?